A shocking scene on the steps of the Hinds County Courthouse, two families brawling after a contentious court hearing. The fisticuffs started inside the courthouse before the hitting, kicking, and punching spilled outside.
On Thursday, November 7th, two families will go toe-to-toe in an intense brawl inside and outside a Mississippi courthouse as both sides got heated up over a woman's mysterious disappearance. It turned into a wild scene as complete chaos erupted and 5 people would end up behind bars, with one being the missing woman's son. As multiple cameras were rolling, the relatives of Derek Coleman were confronted by the family of his missing wife, LaTosha Crump Coleman, at the Hinds County Courthouse, with allegations that Derek may know her whereabouts. After the confrontation, LaTosha's family would take to social media to tell why the fight jumped off, and allegedly, Derek said that you can find that B word in the Pearl River.
We just need to know the location.
So guess what?
All the extra, ain't nobody got their ass on. I just need to know the location of my sister. Pearl River ain't telling me shit. Pearl River big. I need to know the exact location of. So if y'all know where I can find my sister and bring her home, so my family can get some justice, just let us know. Period. This ain't got nothing to do with get back, take your lick, none of that. We just want my sister LaTosha Crump back home. If that means we gotta bury her, then that means so. But we want her back safely. But it is what it is. If she gotta come home already gone, then that's what we gotta accept. But she gotta come home. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. She gotta come home. So if you know the location of where we can find her, drop it in the comments or inbox. We know it's in the Pearl River, but do you know where about? Everything else, y'all can go to hell. Let us know where my sister is and the location, period. While y'all seeking and trying to find out information, ain't no information. The information is my sister. Derek is a non-factor. His family is irrelevant. But when it comes to my sister, she very much so relevant to her family because she was loved and she didn't deserve it. Because she stood by people that shouldn't have been even stood by. She didn't look at you for who you were. She looked in y'all hearts. And for y'all to play with her like that because she wanted out her marriage because you couldn't be faithful and your family was on some old weak stuff, man, just let us know where to get my sister.
If y'all know somebody that know one of their people, yeah. Tell them drop that location on that Pearl River. That's what we need. We ain't worried about nothing else.
As of December 10th, 2023, LaTosha has been missing for almost 5 months with 0 sightings of her and the vehicle that she owned. 46-year-old LaTosha Crump Coleman will be reported missing by her family on July 19, 2023, when she failed to show up for her job as a correctional officer. Family quickly realized something was very wrong when LaTosha's favorite aunt passed away and she was nowhere to be found. Before LaTosha was reported missing, she was supposed to be at work at the same time. Since LaTosha could not take her phone inside the jail, her sister would call up to the correctional facility to inform her that her aunt was passed. It would come to a shock to find out that she was a no-call, no-show because that definitely wasn't like her. As the family would try to find LaTosha, her son Dexter said they decided to wait until the end of her workday, hoping maybe she would turn up. But sadly, she did not. Dexter and other family members would then go to LaTosha's house and panic when they found her dog's Apple Watch there, which they said she would have never left without for a long period of time. So what could have happened to LaTosha, and who would have wanted her to disappear? LaTosha was last seen Tuesday, July 18th at around 7:30 p.m. in the 100 block of Hinds Valley Lane in Hinds County. According to LaTosha's family, she is described as a very loving lady who is always willing to help others. She is a devoted correctional officer And on the side, she loves creating flower arrangements for events like weddings and funerals. She's the kind of person everyone adores, her family will say. She is also very close to her family, especially her son Dexter, whom she had as a young teen. They practically grew up together and share a very special bond. Dexter is desperate to find his mother, as any child would be, and says that she is the only parent that he has and he can't live without her. Even though he is grown in his 30s, he said she still spoiled him and she was his rock, his left hand, and has been him and her forever. I could only imagine the pain he is feeling not knowing where his mother is. The unknown is the worst part. According to official reports, Latasha's estranged husband Derek was in court on November 7th to appeal a 2022 conviction for violating a protective order to have no contact with his wife. Back on July 17, 2022, Latasha filed domestic violence and malice mischief charges against her husband. A Jackson Municipal Court then issued a no-contact order against Derek the next day. Derek then went to her home on July 21, 2022, and kicked in the door, violating the no-contact order. Latasha ended up filing more charges against her husband on July 22, 2022. The Jackson Municipal Court Judge Jeffrey Reynolds ruled on July 25, 2022, that Derek was guilty of violating a no-contact order related to several domestic violence charges filed by Latasha. The court said Derek was an extreme danger to the victim. Judge Reynolds would then set his cost bond, which is the kind of surety bond that guarantees payment of court expenses, at $2,500, and his appearance bond, which is a written promise given by a defendant in court that they will attend all required court appearances and will not engage in any illegal activities or prohibited conduct as set by the court. And that bond was set at $250,000. Derek's attorney, Damon Stevenson, would then file an appeal to the Hinds County Court and ask Judge Johnny McDaniels to reduce the bond in an emergency motion filed a week later. Judge McDaniel agreed with the lawyer and reduced the appearance bond to $50,000 while leaving the cost bond in place. He ordered Derek to wear a GPS monitor for 270 days or until the appeal is resolved, and kept the no-contact order in place with Latasha. Unfortunately, Derek never got a GPS monitor, as the responsibility for obtaining the device was his alone. That's right, his alone. Now, I do know that if you go to jail and you get released with monitoring, and it's through a third party, it is your responsibility to not only pay for it, but go and get that ankle monitor. And usually you have to do it within 24 hours or the next open business day. However, Derek did not go and get it at all and was not picked up for not having it. During this time, Latasha will remain in the home that they once shared in the area of Hidden Valley Lane in Jackson, Mississippi. According to the family, Derek was having multiple affairs, outside children, and there were other issues between the couple. Latasha became fed up and stood her ground, filing for divorce, but Derek did not want to let her go. Family said Latasha was the breadwinner and he could not just let her move forward with her life. The family would go on to say that she was over nice to him and always supported and backed him up until she was fed up, and that's when things turned left. Latasha wanted to do everything by the book, so she got the restraining order. She filed for divorce and was hoping to move forward in her life. She was last seen on July 17, 2023 by a family member. At that time, Latasha expressed concerns about her safety due to the relationship with her estranged husband. Last time her family spoke with her was on July 18, 2023. And on July 19, 2023, around 7 p.m., her family reported her missing. Latasha would vanish from her home a year after filing for a divorce. There were tire marks in the back of the house, and it looked to have been possible forced entry. Allegedly, Latasha's phone will be found 3 days after being reported missing in a random building, and Derek was the last known contact. She was last seen wearing black cut-up jeans and a black shirt. She was last known to be driving her gray 2002 Acura MDX bearing Mississippi license plate HPA 8639. No action against Derek took place in the case until Jackson's prosecutors filed an emergency motion to revoke his bond on September 14, 2023, over a year after refusing to follow a court order to be monitored, and 2 months after Latasha Coleman went missing. I don't know if there's a time frame for arrest if you don't get the monitor, but over a year without it and no arrest seems way off. Did the court system fail Latasha if he did indeed have something to do with her disappearance? Sadly, even though he has been behind bars since September, he has not been charged with Latasha's mysterious disappearance. He is only a person of interest at this point. Heartbreakingly, this has left many questions unanswered for loved ones. With no trace of her and no lead surfacing, the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation issued a silver alert for LaTosha.
Heart still goes out to the Crump Coleman family. I cannot imagine the pain and suffering that they're experiencing with their loved one missing, and especially with the holidays coming up. We are continuing to investigate that case. We've reached out to several other entities and agencies to help us as well. We've conducted several mass searches of areas that have led us to that location based on our investigation, but we have not been able to come up with the ultimate resolution, and that's bringing her home safely to her family.
Dexter and the rest of the family have since taken the search into their own hands, but despite their efforts, there's no sign of her, not a single clue. Family told news outlets that LaTosha was very fearful of her estranged husband and even had some domestic violence cases against him, and she was very fearful that something might happen to her if he was allowed to have contact with her. And sadly, now she has vanished. LaTosha's family say they feel her case was swept under the rug and ignored by many, as it came only a few days after the scandalous Carly Russell hoax disappearance in Alabama. If that is the case, that is very upsetting, because while someone is really missing and in danger, somebody else is crying wolf, setting up a fake plot. Infuriating, to say the least. If you are in Jackson, Mississippi area or surrounding states and you think that you saw LaTosha or her car, please contact law enforcement, because you never know if it could be the lead needed to bring this beautiful woman home. My deepest thoughts and prayers are definitely with this family as they navigate this tough time and wanting to locate their loved one. I truly hope she will be found so that the family can get the closure that they need. No matter the outcome, they want her home. I also hope that Derek does not get out of jail if he indeed is the person who has caused her disappearance and may tragically done something way more sinister. So please don't forget to comment your thoughts and prayers for this family in their difficult time, and let me know if you think he is the alleged person that caused LaTosha to vanish. Also, don't forget to hit that like button to share to make your people aware, and as always, remember, stay woke. Things change quickly.